What's up, gang? My name is Adam Maggio. If you don't already know me, business-related video today. For those of you that aren't growing a business, whether it be an insurance agency or recruiting salespeople, this probably won't be the best video for you to watch. Appreciate it. You're more than welcome to stay. But for those of you that are in the business of doing this, important stuff, and I need your help. I've been out of the game for a little bit, but I certainly have caught up and kind of improved things in the background a little bit when it comes to the recruiting game. And I wanted to know what your challenges are, and here's why. I've had a couple people reach out to me recently in the last month or so, but in the last week or so, I've actually had some very large organizations try to find out what's going on and what's wrong with recruiting. At least start to get some groundwork going. And I guess the only thing I could say is that if the recruiting's down, it's because it's just not a priority somewhere in your organization, or you don't think it works, which is fine, and that's all dandy. But at the end of the day, we all know that the people that recruit the most will grow the fastest. I mean, that's just common sense. Now, there's always going to be a fight over quantity and quality, and I get all that, but at the end of the day, why is recruiting down? Like, what are your challenges? And if you don't mind, actually just put them in the comments below, and I'll try to either whip something together or address them all in one video. I don't know how I'm going to do that. But nonetheless, what I really wanted to figure out was, when you're growing your organizations right now, are you primarily using resumes? Are you primarily nominating people? Are you using social media to drive recruits? What is the main thing that you're doing? And if you could put it below, put it below. I mean, don't worry that Tom, Dick, or Harry is looking at what you're doing, because I promise you, people can know exactly what you're doing, and they still couldn't pull it off, right? It's just a matter of execution. But really, the important thing is what's going on. If recruiting's down across the board, it's not just with one company by any stretch of the imagination. It's down across the board. So the only thing I could think of is that maybe it's not considered a priority anymore, or quote unquote your job. What I can tell you from personal experience, though, is even when I was a regional manager, very, very successful, had a very, very successful organization. The whole emphasis was on recruiting. As a matter of fact, two of the managers that worked for me, that their focus was the recruiting, are now some of the largest regional managers in the company. I mean, that's just a fact. They did it, and they did it on their own, and they grew it, and they didn't need a regional manager to help run them. And that's what most people, I think, on this line probably need the most help with is, whatever your organization is, you have to grow it as if no one's going to help you, because, reality of it is, if someone's going to help you, they're probably not doing too good at, either. Generally, people are doing very well, have very limited amounts of time. So what I mean by that is, if you just have like the total sloppiness going on, and you're not just doing the basics, like showing up, creating a system, running new agents through a system, they're probably not going to have too much to tell you. If you have high-level questions like, hey, I got 10 shows this week, I got 2 people in sales school, I have this person coming down the pipeline, I have this, and this, that manager is going to be paying a lot more attention to you, because the questions are going to be very high level. It's not going to take a ton of time. So, the first thing I would look at is, what are you doing on your individual business? But I'm kind of off on a tangent, and the whole reason for this video was what's going on out there, because it's very possible to pull recruits in from job boards, from nominations, from social media. I mean, breaking that out even into Facebook, breaking that out even to Twitter, breaking that out even to LinkedIn. 99.9% of the people I see doing that are doing it absolutely wrong. All right, they're being tugboats. They're not being lighthouses. What do I mean by that? So think about what a tugboat and a lighthouse do. Right? They both have the ability to draw boats in off the ocean. Right? And if you look at the way the lighthouse works, or if you look at the way the tugboat works, right? The tugboat does a lot of stuff. They go out there, they chase these boats down, they link up with them, they have to pull them back in, right? Wom, ba bom, ba bom, bom, bom. The lighthouse, right? And the analogy I want to give you is that if you're out there just pitching your opportunity on social media, you're just doing it completely wrong, because you're that tugboat going after it, right? And what happens is, even if it works, you can really only tug one boat in at a time. Think about what the lighthouse does, right? The lighthouse just stands there. And the same boat can get in, right? They can use the tugboat to drag them in, or they can use the light from the lighthouse to drag them in. The difference is when you recruit right on social media, like the tugboat, you're not going to get ahead. The lighthouse, once your base is built, the lighthouse, you will bring those people in, those boats, by just standing there, right? And that's what's important. And that's a very high level conversation when it comes to social media recruiting, but I want you to understand it, and hopefully you do through that analogy, and it goes well above and beyond that. But I seriously want to know what you think the main issues are, because I do have appointments coming up, right? People are literally concerned. They just don't know what's going on with the recruiting stuff. And, if the numbers are down, it's got to come from somewhere. So me being out of it for a year or so, I don't mind, just because it's always something that I've kept up on. But the reality of it is it the basics? Is it, what is your framework for it? Do you have a system to recruit? I mean, there's going to be people in all these different categories, but at the end of the day, the volume needs to get up. We know that for a fact, unless these companies wouldn't be calling me. And I'm not saying that to brag or really anything. I'm telling you that because they're calling me. I mean, think about this. So I'll talk to you soon.